Welcome to Rathalos Watch. Today is my reaction to the news update in regards to the second open beta of Monster Hunter Wilds. Earlier today, Capcom announced the second open beta with another confirmed monster that many have been suspecting would be returning, and that is of course Gypceros. Gypceros was also in many of the leaks that we've discussed previously, but now it's officially confirmed by Capcom, which gives the previous leaks yet again more credibility. Do not worry, this is not a spoiler video and I won't be mentioning any other leaked monsters here, so feel free to watch. If you're looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds coverage or just Monster Hunter in general, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on, and do not forget to join our Discord community. Link is in a pinned comment. Without further ado, let's begin. So what is going on here exactly, and why is Capcom holding another open beta so close to the release, and what kind of changes and content can we expect this time around? Well, as much as I like praising Capcom, this is the one instance where I'll have to be brutally honest with you guys and Capcom themselves, and I'll explain why in a bit. But first, let's look at what Capcom officially said in regards to why there is a second open beta in the first place. This is straight up from their official website. Ahead of the game's full release, on February 28, 2025, we held an open beta test in November 2024, in response to requests from players who were unable to participate the first time or simply wish to play again. We've decided to hold a second open beta test. Our entire development team is hard at work, reviewing your valuable feedback and focusing on improving the full version of the game. However, please bear in mind that these improvements, including performance, game balance, weapon mechanics, known issues, and more, will not be reflected in the second open beta build. So basically what is happening here, Capcom literally is going to give the game a terrible impression a few weeks before it launches. And the reason why is because there will be no new changes to the second beta that everyone wants to experience ever since Capcom confirmed the new hit stops, optimization fixes, bug fixes, and other things. So instead, we are going to be playing pretty much the same build that had a lot of issues from October, weeks before the actual release. This is absolutely terrible marketing and not a good way to handle such a big launch for a much anticipated game like this. Most people are going to play the game close to launch and then say things like, "Oh my god, it runs terribly on my PC," or something like, "Why are there so many bugs this close to release? Why do the weapons have no hit stops? I'm disappointed. I will now be canceling my pre-order or waiting till they address all of those issues." You see, people who watch YouTube and stay up to date do not have to worry about this, but the majority of the casual crowd who have no clue what is going on with the game at all and do not keep up to date with the news cycles are gonna be having a problem. The reality is that those people are also the bulk of Capcom's potential sales, and this kind of marketing will hurt the sales and Capcom's reputation in the long run. Anyways, I am not trying to be a negative Nancy, and I'm happy for those who did not get to play the second time, get to experience what Monster Hunter Wilds has to offer, and it's also nice of Capcom to be adding in another returning monster. But I'm just a bit upset that Capcom is willing to take this risk and shoot themselves in the foot. Based on Capcom's description, it seems that they never ever planned a second beta originally to begin with, and because not everyone got to play it back in October and November, they've decided to be nice and courteous to those who have missed out. And you know what? I have huge respect for that. They could have been spending their time working on other stuff or something, but instead they want to make sure that the community gets their fill of Monster Hunter Wilds before launch once again. But I just wish that they would have implemented these new bug fixes, hit stops, and optimization changes. This would give them such a great marketing boost and would make the launch even better for them, but unfortunately that will not be the case. Another thing I wanted to mention was that they took way too long to reveal a new monster. The last time we got any sort of new monster reveals was back in the Oil Well Basin trailer in the late October, right before the open beta started. It has been 2 months and 3 or so weeks if you want to get super technical about it. And between all that time, everything got essentially leaked out. Those who watched my leaked videos know exactly what I'm talking about, so I won't say anything further. It would have been wiser for Capcom to just come out and talk about Gypceros around Thanksgiving time, or even put out a little trailer talking about some other monsters or something at the Game Awards or even after it. But instead, they revealed 2 whole new returning franchises, which honestly was probably the better and wiser decision, as I've talked about in my other video, but they still could have just done a small Gypceros reveal a week after the Game Awards or before. Instead, they've decided to reveal the returning turkey earlier today in the second open beta announcement. And in a way, it makes sense, but it would have been much smarter to showcase Gypceros instead. Seeing Gypceros in a desert environment is very weird to me, and I'm deeply hoping he's in the Windward plains only for demonstration purposes and actually appears in the Oil Well Basin instead in the final game, but who knows at this point. It's time that I also confess a few things here. I have already fought Gypceros in the first beta, and the way I was able to do that was thanks to a few people in my Discord who told me about it. I'm not going to be going into discussion here how it was enabled due to obvious reasons, but Capcom did leave out just enough data to have a full-on Gypceros fight. So for me, Gypceros is nothing new. I've killed him plenty of times with a variety of weapons, and the reasons why I never posted any videos is due to copyright claims and things of that nature, and I just didn't want to risk it. You understand. I'm debating on whether I should be posting them now or not since Gypceros is official, but to be honest, it's not really really worth it, and the game is so close to release that it doesn't really matter. But in a nutshell, if you want to hear my impressions of the fight, all I have to say is that it is much more improved and a lot less annoying. He has a few new moves with his tail, and his play dead mechanic now actually has him twitching on the ground instead of just laying completely, which is really nice. And you can even carve him while he's playing dead, allowing you to get extra crafting materials, which is kind of cool if you ask me. If you hated fighting him in previous titles, you will like him a lot more now, and that is because Monster Hunter Wilds just has way better and smoother combat system, and of course the hitboxes aren't as shitty as they were in older generations, especially the first generation of Monster Hunter, which is where Gypceros is originally from. Long story short, Gypceros is a lot more enjoyable to fight now and is a lot less annoying than he used to be. So I hope that when the second beta rolls around that you will enjoy it. I will also do a stream with my community here, so feel free to join the fun. I will make a community post and a video closer to the second beta launch. Last but not least, Capcom does mention on their website that there is more content coming soon and to be announced at a later date for the second beta. Now, whether that new content is another additional monster or not remains to be seen, but if I was a betting man, it's most likely going to be Gypceros or maybe, just maybe, Archveld, but that's probably Cope. Then again, Monster Hunter World did have Nergigante in its second beta before release, so who knows? What are your thoughts on the unrevealed content? Let me know in the comments and what you think it might be. Anyways, that is all I have to say in regards to the big and unsuspecting news today. I was not expecting a second beta personally, but I was hoping for a demo with the flagship Archveld. But I guess that won't be happening now, which is rather strange considering Capcom usually does do a demo with a flagship monster around the release time of every new Monster Hunter title. But who knows, maybe they'll announce it later, I have no idea. What do you all think, and how do you all feel about the second open beta? Do you believe that Capcom is shooting themselves in the foot by not updating the beta to the latest build with all the bug fixes, optimization fixes, and weapon changes? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe with notifications turned on. Peace out and happy hunting.